testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Check, check. Check, check. 1, 2. Check, check. Now go. Now
check,
go.
Check, 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 check. Testing here.
Check, check. Testing, testing.
Dundee, Canlan Sports here as the Midget minor U16 goes against the Affton Americans. With the 16U hockey, we're just underway here on this Saturday morning. Thanks for joining us here for the Central States game of the week. Beautiful Saturday here in the Midwest. Affton controls it going left to right. White sweaters. We're working through some audio stuff here. We're hoping you can hear us here tonight. Game just getting underway here in West Dundee. No score between the Leafs and the Americans. They get there along the board, near board. Leafs control the puck. They break this one out from their own end. They're skating right to left on your screen. It's Gavin Seeger controlling it behind the Leafs net. Eventually kicks it up to center ice. Or Affton gains control and kicks it back into the Leafs zone. This one kicks out and Affton will try to regroup. A lot of speed in this game so far. Shot on net gets blocked off a stick. That was Kevin Koo who tried getting that one on the net, but the stick from an Affton player got in the way of that one. DeGeorge brings it in. Good defensive work by Affton there to get in the way of that shot. Now Affton regains control going the other way. It's Watson for Affton who sent it in straight behind the net for Affton. 3 Leafs players also behind the net. Starting goalie for the Leafs today, Jacob Burkowski. And over for Affton, it is Charlie Mental in the net for the Americans. And that's Mental who gets a stick on that one and kicks it out to his own skater who sends it down ice. And we have an icing. That face-off was won by the Leafs. Affton eventually gains control of it. Face-off in the Affton zone. That's where the puck lays at this point before it's put onto center ice. Polina sends it back into the Affton zone, but Ross is there. Hayden Ross of Affton bringing it into the zone, gives it over to his teammate. For a Leaf is there to send that one down. That was Shane Favia who sent that one down ice for icing. 12:14 to go, first period, no score. Here at the Canlan Sports Complex in West Dundee. Face-off to the right of the Leafs goalie. And that face-off controlled by the Leafs, going from right to left. You brought it into the zone, but took a hit from Lind, and he was not able to maintain the possession. To battle for it against the board behind the Affton net. Patrick Galley along the board with it for the Leafs before he sends it back down to center ice. Leafs trying to regroup. Puck goes out of play with 11:44 left in the first period. Face-off at center ice here. Once again, thank you for joining us on a Saturday morning of hockey. Ethan Wiles on the play-by-play. Joe Williamson alongside me on the camera today. Affton with it, sends it up ice before it's picked up by Avila of the Leafs and sent back down ice. Both teams battling for possession here early on. No one's really had a good look in this game. Good hit there along the far board. There was Corey Olsak with the hit. We finally got our first chance of the game there from Affton. They look to get something set up. Lind with it on the near board, sends it down behind into the corner. Who's able to get this one back. Chippy game so far here in this first period. 11 minutes to go. No score. Both teams, like I mentioned, battling for puck possession. Affton will regroup and try to bring it back into the zone. They had a good look, but the Leafs defense was there to get that one away. Seeger with it for the Leafs, dumps it back behind. Warren tried to tip pass it along, but Ross for Affton was there to get a stick on that one and kind of disrupt that pass. And now we got a whistle. Face-off will come down ice. And it will be to the left of the Affton goaltender, Charlie Mental. Lucas DeGeorge in the face-off circle for the Leafs. Face-off won by Affton. Good defensive work and a good battle against the far corner. As the Leafs try to keep that one in, this one deflected out of play. George and Rosler once again facing off to the left of the Affton goaltender, Charlie Mental. Face-off won by Affton. There's Brown from the Leafs, who is able to recover that loose puck. Warren sends it back into the zone behind Mental. He's able to pass it out. And Affton gets a good look the other way. 3-on-2. Walker skates into the zone with Rosler to his left. Now battle with it as Koo and Watson battling for it. The Leafs able to maintain possession. Affton getting some new skaters out on the ice. And now a good chance for the Leafs as Warren had his puck picked from him. Another good hit against the far board. Seen a lot of physical action here in this first half of the first period. So far, 0 goals, 0-0, 9:20 left in the first period. That was in the Leaf zone, set back down ice, and we have an icing. Taking a look at some of the numbers for each team. Brandon Yu for the Leafs comes into this game the leading scorer, 7 points on the year, 4 goals and 3 assists. See what he can do here so far. He's been flying around. And here come the Leafs. Favia bringing it in. He had Boomer to his right. Looked to feed it to Boomer across the zone, but Boomer unable to get a stick onto that one. Now Affton picks it up and goes the other way. Gerstein rather, looked to make some moves there. And another whistle as Jacob Borkowski ices that one. Now the puck will be to his left in the faceoff. Yu, the leading point scorer for the Leafs, won the draw. The puck is maintained by Affton. Lynn to put one on that was sticked aside. Now they're looking to keep possession in. Bunch of Leaf skaters. About one Affton skater there in the corner, and the Leafs able to maintain possession. Now they send it back over to Affton. Yu and Lynn getting chippy along the near board. Now Galley in the corner for the Leafs, looks to send it out, but Yu unable to maintain it. And Affton picks it up, and now we're playing back and forth with each other here in the neutral ice. And this one gets sent out behind the Affton net. Puck battled by the Leafs. And that was Kaysen Maley with a good opportunity set up there, but no one was home. Now Affton with a chance of their own, but this one gets taken away by the Leafs, and here they come. Maley again had the opportunity, but couldn't get his stick on that one. They're going to have to regroup. Sweeney dumps it in behind Afton's net. 7.5 to go, first period, no score. Dumped down, Brown with it. Green takes it away for Affton, and now here come the Leafs again. 3-on-2 opportunities. Sweeney, Olsak, and Brown. Olsak gripped his shot, and a good save. And a loose puck in front, but that one is knocked aside. The Leafs able to keep it in their zone. Opportunity in front, he lost a shot, and a great save by Charlie Mental to get a pad on that one, and they send it down. Boy, Charlie Mental was looking really good on that one. A couple of chances in front, but he was able to get some pads on that one and keeps this a 0-0 contest. Face off now back in the Affton zone to the left of Mental. Battle won by the Leafs, put on in front. Puck was nowhere to be found for a second there before it was back on the ice. Brown rips his shot into the stomach of Mental, and he holds on. Once again, thank you for joining us on this Saturday morning, as we have a battle between the Affton Americans and the Leafs. Some 16U hockey on what should be the last really warm day here in the Midwest. Osler brings it into the zone, rips his shot, but Borkowski hangs on. We've seen some rockets off some sticks of both teams here in the last 30 seconds or so, but the goaltender staying strong in the net. Still working through some audio stuff. We'll hope to get Joe Williamson on the call here in just a little bit to get his thoughts on the game, but he is currently operating our camera right now, so providing the feed to you all watching this game here on this Saturday morning. Boomer has it for the Leafs. Lake behind with Fabia as well. Before the puck is maintained by Affton. Sent aside. Polina puts it in front. Lake didn't see it go between his feet. Now the Leafs will try to keep it in their zone, but Affton gets it out. Patrick Polina, tall, fast, skater on the ice. Made a good impact there on defense. Fabia looked to feed it across to Lake. That's Sawyer Lake, who got a stick on it but couldn't get a clean shot. Lake put it on again. That one was kicked aside by Mental. Puck sent out to neutral ice and now sent out into the Leafs zone. Just over 5 to go in the first period. No score. Both teams starting to create some chances here in this first period, but we've seen a very physical hockey game to start. This one's sent down, no icing. And it sits behind the Leafs net. Leafs will look to make something happen. And bring in the zone. Maley rips a shot. Good glove save. Had an opportunity. The puck's loose in front. Rips another shot. That's Avila, but that one goes high. Avila with it again. Looks to send it in front. That was Patrick Galley who watched that puck go by him. Good chance there for the Leafs, but boy, Charlie Mental has looked really good in this first period and has not broken. No score, 4.5 to go in the first period. Puck is loose in front, but Affton able to get a skater there in front. Watson tried to get it out. Now a scrum in the near board. Puck still in the Affton zone. Now Affton able to regain possession and send it down. Good hit from Diego Avila of the Leafs there. Watson and Galley racing down ice behind the Affton net. Watson able to send that one out. I thought we had a whistle there for a second, but ref's over there talking to the coach on the bench and was quite confused there for a second, but we play on. 3.5 to go. Puck behind the Affton net. Leafs trying to set something up. Affton able to regain possession now. Vivert sends it in to his teammate straight along the board, and now we have a whistle. Looks like we're going to get our first penalty of the game, and we will. That'll be Corey Olsak of the Leafs heading to the box. So Affton will have the skater advantage here with 3:17 to go. First time someone's gone to the box in this game. Their bench looking to get fired up, and now we have 2 Leaf skaters going to the box. Lucas DeGeorge joins him. But it stays a 5-on-4. I'm assuming that DeGeorge got some sort of a 5-minute penalty, but 100% sure on that one as Affton starts to set up on their power play. Good hit along the board, and now we've got some scrums there behind the net, but Affton able to regain possession. Lynn keeps it in. Nope, that one deflects out. So Corey Olsak went to the box first. He is the player that is listed on the scoreboard as serving the 2-minute penalty. And then Lucas DeGeorge joined him in the box. There's only 2.5 minutes left in this first period, so we'll see what happens. Affton looking to set something up on this power play. Good move there by the Leafs to send this out, and they'll clear it. Patrick Galley skates down. Andy Lind brings it up for Affton, and they look to regroup and set something up as they've got the advantage for about just another minute. Battle along the board. Affton has it. Gives it up top to Lynn. Lynn rips a shot, and it's Borkowski gets a glove on that one, and will hang on. Faceoff comes to the left of Borkowski. He's trying to get this puck in their possession and clear it out. Good work by Affton to keep it in their zone. Elliott sends it back up top. There was Caden Ross who ripped a shot from the point. Ross with the rebound sends it high and wide. Ross again from the blue line, able to keep it in. Now goes the other way with the Leafs. Blake Byrne brings it in. Braden Sweeney to his left. Bad pass goes the other way now. Affton. Archie Walker brings it in. Sends a shot on, but it goes out of play. Patrick Kalina able to get a stick on that one, and it deflects into the net. 12 seconds left on the power play. Minute and a half to go in period one. No score. Good work by the Leafs penalty kill. So far, there's still 12 seconds left. Face-off is to the left of Borkowski. Face-off was won by the Leafs. They tried to clear it down. Affton with one last chance on this power play, but Warren able to get his body in front of that one. And now the power play is over. We're back to even strength hockey. And here come the Leafs. Shot on net. Good save by Mental. Charlie Mental getting the glove on that one. I believe that was DeGeorge who came out of the box and ripped that shot, but Charlie Mental has been solid in the net for Affton in this first period of play. Face off in the Affton zone, controlled by Affton, and now they go left to right. Puts one on net. This one gets sent high and into the net, and it sticks into the net. You're enjoying your Saturday here. It's again probably the last warm day we have in the Midwest for quite some time. Saw a lot of parents hanging out outside before the game. Just kind of enjoying the last warmish weather day that we have here in the Midwest. Good hit along the board. That's Sawyer Lake showing his aggressiveness as Chen with it for Affton at center ice. Look to feed it over to his teammate. And now we're going to get a penalty. Sutton, who will go to the box for Affton, and I believe a Leaf skater was also sent as well. Couldn't get a number on that one. Might be Matt Gardner. Apologies, it's Gavin Seeger for the Leafs that went in the net. Gavin Seeger and Evan Sutton both in the box. Affton with an opportunity. Good glove save by Borkowski. With 20 seconds to go in the first period, making this one a 0-0 game, keeping this game 0-0 rather. 10 seconds to go. Leafs trying to get something going. Galley bringing it in, but the loose puck will be sent down. And that will be it for the first period of play. We go to period number 2. We are tied at 0. Hopefully you get Joe Williamson on the call here in the second period as well. You can get the fine vocals as well and his takes on the game here. We'll be back with the second period right after this.
Okay. The second period, no score here between the Leafs and the Affton Americans, as the Americans will dump it in on the first shift of this second period. Just a reminder, we'll get the Zamboni halfway through at 8 minutes. Americans controlling back to the blue line. Good stick in the corner there by Blake Byrne. Centered, but no one home, and the Leafs are going to bring it the other way. Here comes Braden Sweeney, and he'll just dump it in, and the Leafs will chase. Parker Pappas back there fighting for it. Finds Shane Favia. Favia circling, controlling, right in front, and a shot just wide by Patrick Galley. Some pushing and shoving in that first period on both sides. A couple of penalties, but nobody could capitalize in the corner. Nice control there by the Leafs back behind the Americans' net. Back to the blue line, shot and a save. And it's been a good game so far for both netminders. Charlie Mental for the Americans and Jacob Burkowski for the Leafs. Both have faced some pretty tough shots. Burkowski with the one right point blank into the glove towards the end of that first period, and it's still scoreless. Meyer can't keep it in, it comes out, and the Leafs gonna turn it over here in their own zone. Tanner Rossler back out to the blue line. Tipped towards the net. Another fight forward against the boards on the near corner. And right in front, Rossler can't find anybody, and the Leafs are going to bring it out of the zone. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Brandon Yu finds a man in front, and what a save, and it comes out. Oh my goodness, Charlie Mental, a 2-on-1 all by himself. Another juicy rebound, and this time the Americans are going to find it. Charlie Mental standing on his head there to keep this a scoreless game. Now the Americans a chance in front, and might have been tipped in at the net. We're going to get a whistle here, and maybe a penalty. And it's going to be on Patrick Galley. He's going to head to the box for a cross check, and the Americans are going to earn themselves a power play shortly after a fantastic effort by Charlie Mental in the net. Wow. So still scoreless, and the Americans will have a 5-on-4 man advantage here for 2 minutes. So the Leafs will ice it. Americans back in their own zone, looking to set something up. And a nice move. Conrad. I'm just going to say Cush because that last name is unbelievably long and I didn't prepare. Americans will take it back to the neutral zone. Looking to set something up. Gerstein finds Cush in the offensive zone, but it's pushed back out. Gerstein looking again. They'll rim it around near side, and it'll come back out far side. Caden Ross with possession. Just over a minute left in the cross-check man advantage for the Americans, and nothing doing so far as another puck battle near the corner. Americans behind the net looking to set something up. Back out to the blue line and kept in barely. And now the Leafs are going to bring it out the other way, and a great effort by Caden Ross. Oh, and a little tap on the goalie there at the other end as we're going to get a stoppage due to Boomer losing a couple of pieces of equipment, and a penalty coming here on Caden Ross. So the Americans will lose the man advantage. And we're going to play some 4-on-4 here with 4 minutes and 35 seconds till our Zamboni break. We'll have 40 seconds of 4-on-4 and then a minute 20 of a power play for the Leafs. And a big hit in the corner on Favia, but the Leafs will keep it in. And that's going to be another no call. The refs letting them play here. Americans coming the other way, and a shot stopped. Good defense there by the Leafs. A big stick, and just 15 more seconds of the 4-on-4. Far side, Patrick Polina. He'll bring it into the American zone, and the 4-on-4 is going to wind down. Coming out of the box is Patrick Galley. So now a man advantage for just over a minute for the Leafs. Americans still putting some pressure on, though, and finally the Leafs will regain possession. Coming the other way, and tripped up is Favia. I think he just lost an edge. No call there is the right call. And we do have a delayed penalty, I believe. Another one on the Americans. So I think we're going to have some 5-on-3 action here for a minute. Or 49 seconds to be exact. And a big opportunity here for the Leafs to break this scoreless tie here in the second period. Nearing the halfway mark, both teams have had their chances. Both goalies have made some great stops. And we'll get an offensive zone faceoff for the Leafs. Lucas DeGeorge taking it. And the Leafs will win it. Back to Byrne. Byrne looking for Galley. Galley back to Byrne. Setting up at the top of the zone. Looking left side. Nothing doing so far for the Leafs. You coming in. He will drop it off. Malee looking for help. Far side. That's Sweeney. Sweeney to Pappas, back to Sweeney. Pappas at the blue line takes a shot, maybe looking for the tip in front. You will take the bounce off the corner. Behind the net, Malee looking back to you. At the face-off dot, far side, and whipped high by Lucas DeGeorge. Almost our first goal of the game. You in on net and a shot. Score! just as the Americans were getting a man back, the Leafs put one in the net, a wide open shot for Lucas DeGeorge. And he is going to get the Leafs on the board, technically a 5-on-4 goal, although the fourth man wasn't back in the zone yet. And DeGeorge with his first goal of the season. And it's 1-0 Leafs with 2:30 left here before the halfway mark. And just really nothing Charlie Mental could do there. No defenseman in front. And a wide open left side of the net. So back to even strength now. And a big hit in the corner, looking in front for Favia, but nothing doing for the Leafs. And coming the other way is Chen for the Americans. Max Chen behind the Leafs net. 2 minutes left till the halfway mark. 1-0 Leafs lead. And pushed right back out in front. Seeger gonna have a point blank shot. That's turned away by Mental. And a bouncing puck. Mental will find it. And it's going to be iced by the Americans. So the Leafs seem like they're finding a groove here in the offensive zone. Set some good plays up. They've had some good shot opportunities. And part of that was the 5-on-3 for 49 seconds that they had, which of course resulted in the 5-on-4 power play goal. Americans win the face-off. Back out to the blue line. Kept in by the Leafs. You will ring it around back behind the Americans' net, and it's back out behind the blue line. Reese Brown. Brown far side, he'll dump it in. Leafs will chase. You with speed coming around, and a big hit behind the net by Brandon Yu. Yu back to Pappas, and the Leafs, rather the Americans, coming the other way. 1-on-2, and the Americans are going to be offsides, and a late hit. And testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2, testing. Testing, 1, 2, testing, 1, 2. Check. Check. Testing, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2. Check. Testing. Welcome you back. Second period action, second half of the second period. And Byrne looking for help on the far side. Leafs set things up, first possession here after our Zamboni break. And a shot on net stopped by Charlie Mental. We apologize, some technical difficulties, hoping you can hear and see everything okay. Some good hockey here so far today. Here on Stream Sports Midwest, 1-0. The Leafs lead the Americans here from West Dundee. Along the far side, back and forth. Galley looking for help. He'll now take it back behind the Americans' net. And settled and right in front. Tipped and a great glove save. Oh my goodness. Charlie Mental. Sprawled out. The reaction time was impeccable. And a fantastic point-blank save absolutely robs the Leafs of a 2-0 lead. The Leafs will keep the puck in the American zone in front for Galley. Tipped away, right pad saved by Mental. Back out to the blue line. Looking near side. Byrne trying to go cross ice. And it's tipped away. Americans coming the other way. Green. And it's ripped wide of the net. Leafs coming the other way with numbers. Back to Byrne. Byrne looking for a trailer. Back out at the top. And it's blockered away by Mental. DeGeorge can't get it past the defense on the far side. It's tipped, so no icing. From back behind his own net. Favia circling. He'll find Byrne. Byrne gets it back right at center ice. Fighting for space. Tipped wide right. Board battle here on the near side. Americans will get it out. And now pushed back in by Sweeney. Sweeney tripped up. Chen gets it out for the Americans. Looking ahead for Straight. Instead, he'll dump it in and chase. Favia. And the Leafs bring it back out of their own zone. Tipped back in by Elliott. And Diego Avila will look for help along the far side. Pappas out. Seager with speed. A nice pass in front, but it's tipped away. Good stick by Andy Lynn. Favia back in, and he just missed. Near side, tried to go glove side on Mental, but it was ripped wide of the net. And the Americans bring it the other way. Max Chen along the boards. He'll go for a change. Chased in by Braden Straight. Back out to the line. Evan Sutton dumps it back in around. And to the near side along the boards, and the Leafs will bring it out. A nice play there by Gavin Seager to get it to Pappas. And it's sticked away in net by Mental. And that puck is going to get into the Leafs bench. And some of the parents and family calling for too many men there, but no whistle. So a neutral zone face-off in front of the Leafs bench, and it's won by the Americans, but not brought out. Lucas DeGeorge, the lone goal scorer in this game, keeps it in. It's dumped back in by the Leafs. DeGeorge on it again. Back out to the line. Reese Brown in. And the Americans will deny that offensive rush there by the Leafs. Neutral zone battle won by the Leafs. Meyer back for it. Hit in the corner by Meyer. Rung around to the far side. Cush can't keep it in, and coming the other way, it's Lucas DeGeorge once again. That shot not quite on net, a little bit wide left. And a great effort there by Joshua Warren. And now we got a loose stick. Looks like a broken stick too. Watson is out there for the Americans with no stick. He'll have to play defense on George, giving it his best effort. Americans get out of the zone, and a big hit by Byrne on Green there along the near side. Kept in though, far side by the Leafs, and now out. Good stick there at the point by Shane Favia. Leafs coming the other way. Point blank shot, and another great save by Charlie Mental. This time a left pad save. Favia tried to lift it but didn't get enough on it. And it was padded away by the Americans netminder. And now in front, a wraparound try, no good. Looks like he lost the puck behind the net. And out coming the other way, Sawyer Lake. He's got help. He elects to shoot it. And another save by Mental. Back in front for Favia. He loses the puck. A good stick by Lind. 2-on-2. Green here to Walker. And shoots. He scores! Archie Walker evens it up with 2 minutes to go here in the second. An even 2-on-2 rush there with the Americans on the offensive rush, and Walker, a nice feed, is able to put one above the right shoulder of Jacob Borkowski, and this game is tied. So the first real good opportunity for the Americans since the break results in a goal, and we're right back where we started. That one goes all the way around. Shot high there from Diego Avila. Back looking for Galley. And Galley almost puts one of the Americans into the Leafs bench on a big hit. And we will get an icing call. So an offensive zone face-off for the Americans with 1:35 to go. Maybe one last offensive push here for Affton, as that one caught a stick on its way in, and it's tipped wide and now gloved by Borkowski. 90 seconds remain in the period. The Americans have tied things up. This one all the way back down into the American zone. Cush looking for some help from Caleb Watson, but the Leafs somehow come away with it. And now pushed out by Chen, back in around behind the Americans' net. Fanned, and a blocker save by Mental. Right out in front, and he had an opportunity there but couldn't corral the puck. Seeger right at the red line, looks for you near side. Through the legs of Straight to find Galley on the far side. Pappas looking for Seeger. Instead, he elects to let it scoot by, and the Americans will push it in behind the net. 30 seconds to go. Seeger in the corner looking for Pappas. Chen has it for the Americans. Now back the other way. Pappas just shoots it in on net. Glove down by Mental, and play continues. Sweeney looking for help. Olsek, and just to the right. Another blocker save there by Mental, and up against the boards. That's how the period will come to a close, but a late goal by the Americans, and we are tied at 1 as we head to the third. We'll step aside for just a minute. Third period face-off 1. And we are underway in a tie game. Americans behind their own net in the far corner. And that puck stuck underneath the skate. Americans come away with it. Paulina tried to free it, and the Americans coming the other way. Archie Walker, the goal scorer, he may have had an opportunity there, but the puck bounced off his stick, and the Leafs will bring it the other way. Pappas looking for the cross ice pass all the way down, but over the head of his teammate Blake, or rather that is Parker Pappas down there. And we get an icing call with just over 15 minutes to go. Defensive zone face-off for the Leafs. Lucas DeGeorge will win the face-off to Seeger against Wiley Vivret. Affton keeps it in. Behind the Leafs net. And now out. Coming the other way is Joshua Warren, and put right back in front of the net, but nobody home for the Leafs, and maybe another missed opportunity there. Avila keeps it in. Warren looking for DeGeorge. And around the boards and out. Everett with Brown. Brown can't corral it. Turned away again by the Leafs at center ice. Kevin Seeger gets it out. Seeger to Kevin Koo. Koo skates in but loses the puck. Avila finds Seeger. Dumped in. Koo off the back of the net and brought away by Andy Lind. And a big hit there at center ice. Braden Straight goes down. Warren coming the other way. He's held up just inside the blue line, though. And he will go for a change. Lind around, far side, looks for Sutton. Sutton can't get it out, and a big hit up against the boards. He will finally clear the zone. Good effort there by Rossler to get it in for Affton. Leafs in their own zone, trying to gather themselves. Good pressure there by Max Chen. Great forecheck, and he's going to draw a tripping penalty. Affton is going to go on the power play here with 13 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the game, which is knotted up at 1. And their first goal, of course, coming via the 5-on-5, but now an opportunity to take their first lead. Looks like Nick Meyer in the box. He's called for the tripping penalty. And Affton is going to win this faceoff to the blue line. Ross in, looking for a shot on the left side by Patrick Polina, and it's gobbled up in net by Jacob Burkowski. The first shot of this power play just 9 seconds in. And Burkowski does his job. So another offensive zone face-off for the Americans. Knocked down in front. Shot wide. Ross is going to put it on net. And a great tip opportunity there for Corbin Green. But he can't get it to go home. It's iced by the Leafs, and the Americans will set things up in their own zone. Turned away again. All the way down. Good pressure there. Patrick Gallia, now the Leafs shorthanded in the neutral zone, will dump it in and go for a change. Ever since that first shot 9 seconds in, not a lot of pressure on this power play for Affton. Walker comes in looking cross ice. Lind at the blue line keeps it in. It's knocked in front by Galley. Right off the chest, it looks like. Kept in by Walker. And he loses it. Off the boards and in on net. Green will take it from his goaltender with just about 30 seconds remaining in the power play. Rossler can't gain possession. And it's played behind the net by Charlie Mental. Coming the other way now, Americans one last push. Straight brings it in, near corner. Less than 10 seconds left on the power play. Brown in front, Lind. That shot rimmed high. We're back to 5-on-5, right in front. And the puck just squeaks through to the right of the net. My goodness, that was a close call there for the Leafs. Back out in front again, and nothing Drew Brown could do with that one. A 2-on-1. Lake looking for help on the far side, and it's gloved down by Charlie Mental. Denied Matt Gardner, and now straight comes the other way. Trying to toe drag it in front. But nothing doing, and the Leafs will get it out. This one won't have the legs for icing, as Conrad Kush will look to the neutral zone. And now Green will bring it in. Green denied by Seeger. Now right in front, and a great stick by Sweeney. Just got enough of it, and the puck goes off the netting behind the Leafs net, and we're still tied. Man, some great opportunities here for both teams about halfway through the third period, but we are still tied thanks to some great defense and some good goaltending. That pass comes out of the zone. Harper puts it back in, and now Pappas comes the other way for the Leafs. Far side, he'll dump it in, they'll chase. Pappas and Sweeney. Rimmed around by Affton. Back behind their own net. Now far side, can't get it out. Kept in by Meyer, who served that last penalty. Now back behind the net, and Pappas, I think that one maybe caught a stick as well. So a couple of good defensive plays here on both sides, and we're still tied This is going to come down to who can get another odd man rush, who can get an odd bounce from the puck, who can get another power play opportunity. And that one pushed out by Affton, coming down to the other end. Looking for help is Reese Brown. He found DeGeorge and now poked out by Nick Meyer. Brown, far side, finds Koo. Koo in, looking for help, and tried to go right across the blue paint, but turned away by Affton. Nice pass there by Koo, and from the neutral zone, Brown puts a bouncing puck in on net, and it's gloved up by Charlie Mental. 8:51 left here in this one in a tie game. Great defense, great goaltending. Both teams with one good goal as well. Leafs win it back out to the blue line. Ooh, and out in front all by himself, Patrick Galley looking for the tip. Couldn't find the rubber there, but he was left all alone in front. That's a recipe for disaster. And there he is again. Galley looking for help back to the blue line. Yu off his skate and now finally out. Leafs will regroup. Byrne back in off of Kush in his own zone. Brown, a great tip pass to Walker. He shoots one in on net, and it's wide left. Up against the boards. Leafs coming the other way. Not able to set anything up. Sticked wide by Mental. Off the boards, far side was Lind. And now Conrad back to get it. Now Brown to the middle, but turned away once again. Neither team able to set anything up offensively. Turned away straight, and again, another stick in the defensive zone for the Leafs that caught a bit of the puck as it was shot on net. It's about the third or fourth shot in a row from the Americans that was turned away by a defenseman. 7:40 remaining. Who will break first? Avila gets it out, neutral zone. Puck possession won by the Leafs. Here comes Favia. Oh, and a great blocker save by Charlie Mental. Still danger though. Lake looking for help in front. Puck somehow still back there behind the net, and it's turned away. Man, just absolutely denied the Leafs there, did Mental, and he kept this a one-goal game. Now Seeger back on defense for the Leafs. They'll just straight steal that puck back for the Leafs. Favia will dump it in from the neutral zone. Boomer will chase after it. Puck off the stick of one of the Americans in the neutral zone. Now straight coming the other way, and just more good solid defense from the Leafs to deny Affton. And now Papa's coming the other way. And a nice move to get into the American zone, but finally turned away. It was 1-on-3, not much of an opportunity for Pappas there. Now Brown just dumps one in on net from the neutral zone. And Caleb Watson will try to get it out along the far side for the Americans. A couple of kids tumbling on that far side, but no calls. 6 minutes left in this tie game. And that's offsides on Affton. Man, Charlie Mental, Another great save down to our left. Keeps this a tie game. Warren rims it around far side. Kevin Koo. And he is drilled right at the face-off dot, and we are going to get a delayed penalty called on Affton. That was a malicious hit on Kevin Koo, who is visibly shaken up. Koo will go to the bench under his own power, so looks like he is okay. Obviously shaken up a bit. We got two Americans in the penalty box. I think we just have the 5-on-4, so one-man advantage for the Leafs. You at the blue line, a great pass there to the face-off dot. And a one-timer just missed by Carson Malee. Some great passing there. Blake Byrne found a man at the near face-off dot and set up a great play. Coming the other way is you with speed. Through the defense, now behind the net, looking for help. DeGeorge, the goal scorer for the Leafs. He gets it back. Taps it back to you. You shoots it on net, and maybe a tip there in front by Galley, but nothing doing for the Leafs. Conrad tries to get it out. Kept in. A weird bounce off something down there in the corner, maybe the bottom of the boards there, and it's out of the zone. You trying to bring it back in, rimmed around. Malee back out to the point for Byrne. Byrne for you. You shot high and wide. DeGeorge to Byrne. Byrne looks for the open lane. He tips and scores. Patrick Galley. He's been lurking in front of the net all period, and he finally got a piece of that puck. A beautiful redirect. And temporarily, the Leafs have a lead. We are going to get a conversation here between the referees at center ice. I think the Americans calling for a high sticking call there. And we are going to get an explanation to both sides. It is going to be a good goal. So it'll be Patrick Galley credited with the second goal of the game for the Leafs with 4:25 remaining. Galley's third goal of the season, as the Americans coaches will get an explanation here prior to the center ice face-off. Wow, just a beautiful tip. I still kind of getting over that puck really wasn't on net. And a great redirect by Patrick Galley puts the Leafs back up in front. Favia lost his stick at center ice. Now Lake loses his stick on the far side. Lake will keep it in. Now brought out by the Americans. Caden Ross brings it into the Leaf zone. Americans need a quick answer back, and this one's rimmed around and all the way down. Should go for icing, and it does. And that is just a brutal goal for Affton to give up after you've got yourself back into this game. You felt like the momentum was pretty even in this third period so far, and then a puck that wasn't even on net is tipped back in. Not a whole lot that Mental could do about it either. off the boards and out for the Leafs. And Meyer is going to shoot it down far side. That'll go for icing as well. 3:33 remaining. Jacob Burkowski in net for the Leafs has had a fantastic game so far. He'll need a couple more saves to cement this win for the Leafs. Leafs 3-2-1. Affton just 1-4 so far this season, but it's been a pretty evenly matched game. And that's going to be offsides on the Americans. Caleb Watson right into his teammate who was trying to get back onside. So we'll get a neutral zone face-off here in front of the Leafs bench. Won by Affton. Paulina behind his own net along the board's far side. Back around from Watson. Now out. Boomer looking for some help. And a big hit in front of the Leafs bench. Coming the other way is Warren. Warren, and a glove save by Charlie Mental. So an offensive zone face-off now for the Leafs. Kaysen Malee will take it for the Leafs. Kicks it back, and it's taken away. Kush Conrad back behind his own net. And brought out of the zone by Jacob Harper. Leafs looking to come back the other way. Malee gets it in. Pressured by Conrad. Conrad will strip the puck. To Chen. Off the stick of Rossler. Turned over in the neutral zone, and that's going to be icing on the Leafs once again with just over 2 minutes remaining. So we're getting towards pulling the goalie territory here for Affton. And we are going to get a timeout for both coaching staffs to look over some plays. We'll step aside for just a second. Oh, shoot, did I never? All right, 2-1 with 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining, and Affton has officially pulled their goalie. Mental is back to the bench, and the extra attacker on the ice for Affton. This puck all the way back. Elliott will retrieve it. Doesn't have the legs for icing. They'll set up with just under 2 minutes to go in their own zone. Elliott at center ice. It's tipped and just wide of the net. No icing, of course. Elliott finds help on the far side. Tipped away at in the neutral zone, and a great stick by Caden Ross prevents an empty net goal. Just over a minute left. Affton needs to set something up. Green could not keep the puck on his stick. Rimmed around near side. Walker back to retrieve it, the lone goal scorer for the Americans. 1 minute to go here in the third period, and that's going to be icing on the Americans, so they'll have to put Charlie Mental back in the net for this defensive zone faceoff. Well, it's been a tight one here from West Dundee as we wrap things up. Just under a minute to go. Affton wins the defensive zone draw, but that puck found its way back to the net on a big shot by Byrne. 45 seconds left. That puck pushed against the wall there behind the Americans' net. They need to pull Mental if they can. Tipped by Brown at center ice, and I think into the bench of the Leafs. Mental still on the ice with 35.5 to go. Afton's going to need a buzzer beater if they want to tie things up. Puck is dropped in the neutral zone. Sutton brings it in. There goes Mental. Big hit near side. Watson has it. Puts it on net. Conrad near side in the corner. Sutton around far side corner. 15 seconds left, and we've got a fight in the corner here. All hands on deck, and the refs will have to break this one up with just 14.2 seconds left. The tempers have boiled over, and inevitably we'll see some guys go to the penalty box here. And still some pushing and shoving near the corner. And these kids are leaving it all out on the ice this afternoon. Oh, and we got somebody pretty badly hurt, it looks like, in the corner. That is not good. It looks like Patrick Polina is down on the ice in the near corner, and he is being extra ginger with that left leg. I don't even know if he can skate off by himself. I don't know if that was the initial hit or if that was part of the extracurriculars, but either way, not something you want to see. And we will have a stoppage here as we get things figured out. Hopefully Polina is okay, and they'll try to clear the ice a little bit, get some of his teammates off, back to the bench. All right, so Polina is off the ice. Thoughts and prayers to him. Make sure he's okay. That left leg hopefully will allow him to get back on the ice sooner rather than later. So a couple of guys in the penalty box for both teams, it looks like. Can't see the numbers from this far away, but there are 3 Affton Americans in the penalty box. And then it looks like Kaysen Malee is in the box for the Leafs. We're still sorting out penalties here. And we will pause until everything is sorted out here with 14 seconds. All right, with 14.2 seconds left, we're still getting an explanation here, although all the players are ready for the face-off. And you can hear the Affton bench just banging away, ready to get things started. Okay, so it looks like we will have a penalty on the Leafs after all of that is sorted out. They have 4 men on the ice. The Americans have 6 because they have pulled the goalie plus the man advantage. And if you're Affton, this is exactly how you get your way back in the game. Maybe you didn't necessarily want how all of that went down to go the way it did, but you've got the 2-man advantage here. With 14 seconds, you got to win the draw, you got to set things up, and you got to find the perfect shot. And we're still waiting for the referees. It did look, by the way, like Kaysen Malee, who was in the box for the Leafs, was ejected from this game. The 5-minute major penalty, I believe, was assessed to him. He is now back in the locker room with just 14 seconds to go. All right, we are officially ready to resume play with 14.2 seconds left. Offensive zone face-off for the Americans, and it's won by the Leafs. Over in the corner, and we got more whistles. Oh my goodness. And there's not enough referees to break everything up either. Oh, now we got the goalie in on it. Burkowski gets a fist in there. I mean, this is just absolutely nuts. A couple of helmets lost, 3 or 4 players down, and now we got an Affton player with his head in his hands down on the ice. .7 seconds left on the clock, and we'll be stopped here again. I still can't believe Burkowski came out and tried to get in on the fun. We'll get things sorted out here again. 2 Leafs in the penalty box, 3 Americans in the penalty box, plus the pre-existing penalty to the Leafs. And that play only lasted 8 seconds before the mayhem started. And the referees will talk things over once again. We promise we'll get to the end of this one eventually. We might have to wait a little bit longer than we thought it. Everybody standing here at the rink trying to get a good view of what's going on down on the ice. This has been a crazy final 2 minutes here in West Dundee. If you can't remember, it is 2-1. The Leafs do lead, although I do believe we'll have one more offensive zone draw for the Americans, so maybe one last shot to set up a play and try and tie things up. Burkowski over in his goal crease, just carefully mopping away the snow, trying to set up a little bit of a wall right on the line there. That is hilarious. Hey, if you got free time, why not try to give yourself an edge, right? Quite literally, just with his stick, dragging any loose snow he can find, trying to put it right on the goal line. That is, I don't know if I've ever seen someone do that so meticulously in their own net. Well, every little inch counts in this game. If a puck squirts through, maybe that'll be the difference. I highly doubt it, but you never know. Still getting an explanation here from the refs. Our goal scorers today so far, Lucas DeGeorge had the second period goal for the Leafs to make it 1-0. And then he was answered by Archie Walker late in the second period to tie things up for Affton. And then the tipped goal by Patrick Galley. And we're going to have two Leafs head off the ice. Corey Olsak and Jackson Boomer. Oh, now a third Leaf headed off as well. Sawyer Lake. They're all headed to the locker room. Both teams quickly losing players at this point. Oh, we have 5 Leafs players headed up to the locker room here. Nick Meyer, a part of that group as well. He was up here earlier already. Wow. And Burkowski's still over there just quietly building his little snow wall. And now we're going to see 3 of the Affton players sent out to the locker room as well. Now a 4th. And this might be the longest 14 seconds to end a hockey game I've ever witnessed. And we will step aside until we get things fully sorted out. All right, so we will get a neutral zone face-off. Looks like 4-on-4. Of course, Affton has pulled their goalie. Oh, never mind, he's back in net. So it is 4-on-4. Draw one by the Leafs. Out to the neutral zone, and that will do it. And you can hear the loud celebration. The Leafs, after all the commotion and fighting and I don't know what else to call it, the Leafs come out on top with a 2-1 gutsy win. Thanks for tuning in to Stream Sports Midwest for this edition of your game of the week. Final 2-1. Leafs defeat the Affton Americans. Thanks for listening and have a great rest of your Saturday.